Welcome back for today's Farm and Ranch News. Today finds us at the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show in New Orleans. And our coverage is brought to you this week by Neogen, the industry leader in beef cattle DNA testing. Build your cow herd for the future with Identity Beef DNA testing. Use radio code RADIO to get 20% off your next order by visiting neogen.com. Well, one of the big topics that's starting off this week's convention is the January 1st cattle inventory report released Tuesday by USDA. The report shows all cattle and calves in the U.S. as of January 1st totaled 89.3 million head, 3% below the 92.1 million head on January 1st, 2022. While cattle producers expected to see a decrease in total numbers due to drought and profitability, the report reveals that we have the lowest ever recorded number of beef cows out in the countryside.
We can focus on the beef cow herd. And what that was really pegged against and what we were comparing it against was the 2014 number. And so in 2014, that was previously the all-time lowest number of beef cows that the industry had had at 29 million head. Today, the report came out at 28.9 million head. So that was down 4% compared to a year ago. And so that was significantly smaller than what we had expected to come out today.
Higher cattle prices are now expected in the weeks and months ahead, but Stewart has this advice for ranchers before they contract their calves this year.
To know the market where we sit in regards to inventory and to know how that plays out in the marketplace. And so one thing I think everybody should go and do is, even though the futures market is just an anticipation of what prices could be, it's never a guarantee. I would really encourage producers to go look at the May contract of 2023 compared to that of August. And you're going to see last week it was a $19 price spread. And so I would caution them to be leery of marketing too early in the year, just simply because as we work our way into the second half of 2023, supplies should become even tighter, even thinner, and that should drive prices higher.
As expected, the 2022 calf crop here in the U.S. was estimated at 34.5 million head, down 2% from the previous year's calf crop. We'll be right back.
Working to preserve the ground for the next generation. Shouldn't your cow herd be built for the future too? Identity Beef provides DNA testing for 17 critical traits on a 1 through 10 scale, along with indexes and parentage. This tool aids in selection and management of commercial females and provides marketing opportunities to build your herd for the next generation. Use code RADIO to get 20% off your next Identity Beef order. Learn more about Identity. Go to neogen.com or call 877-443-6489.
As the Cattle Industry Convention continues here in New Orleans, last month the National Cattlemen's Beef Association filed a lawsuit against the Environmental Protection Agency challenging the Biden administration's final Waters of the U.S. rule. The rule removes long-standing bipartisan exclusions for small and isolated water features, the group says.
This is the latest front in that war. Filing a lawsuit, leading a group of 17 different groups that all view this issue the same way, and really kind of hammering down on this agency's just refusal to really hear input from cattle producers on what would take a rule from this sort of incendiary place that it's been and move it back towards somewhere where some predictability and accountability for producers is in the mix. And right now, that's just not a part of this rule. So we are taking it to federal court. Obviously, that's happening at the same time as the Supreme Court's already reviewing a decision, potential decision on the previous WOTUS rule. And what they come up with there as far as that significant nexus standard could have implications for the case we're involved in now. But before that even gets to that point, our first goal with these lawsuits is to try to stop this rule from moving forward.
The Supreme Court heard oral arguments in the Sackett versus EPA case that Ethan Lane referred to back on October 3rd, 2022, and is expected to release a decision here early in 2023. Reporting from New Orleans, I'm Lane Northline.